You know, there's, you know, if you would ask me this question 10 years ago, you know, you can talk about the, you know, his character as a man and, you know, graduation rates and things like that. But nowadays, at this point, in college football, there's one thing that you judge by, and that's wins. You know, and right now, you know, this past year, he didn't do that. And I know that he knows that that must be addressed. You know, there is no other category that matters in college football. And anyone tell you that is lying. He has to win. We have to get a quarterback, and we have to win.
There you have it, people. I got a question from my main man Mo over here, man. I know we talked about UAB program as far as basketball goes. Do they remind you of your 2014 a little bit, and if so, how?
I think just the competitive spirit. Like last night, I've had the opportunity to come to a lot of the home games this season, so they're playing hard, they're fighting the whole time, and the crowd, although it hadn't been great every night, the people that are there, you know, they're getting a good product, and that's a testament to the players, their ability to go out and compete, and their desire to win.
Cool. Are y'all interested in coaching, either one of y'all?
I am not. But I love basketball, but coaching, and to be honest, for some of the same reasons Reggie just mentioned, is judged by winning. It doesn't necessarily matter how you affect the guys in a positive light. I mean, of course, that's part of it, but at the end of the day, if you don't win, I don't think schools and teams care how much you pour into a young man, and the way that you help shape and mold his character isn't always, you know, seen, you know, from I guess your job security standpoint. You're out the door. But I still love the game, and I stay close. I actually started a sports consulting business. It's called One Finley Way Sports Consulting.
Plug.
Yeah, so we, you know, we do basketball skills training for younger kids and high school kids, and even professional guys that want to come and work out. Do motivational speaking, and help pro guys kind of get their stuff together on and off the court.
Females also?
Anybody. If your granddad wants to play, I'll train him. Anybody is welcome.
What's the age group where it started?
Well, the youngest kid I train right now is 6, and the oldest is 16.
Okay.
Reggie, what you have going on right now, brother?
Mike Moore, I actually was a head coach at a private school here in Birmingham 2 years ago, and they canceled the program.
Dang.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoy coaching, and I enjoy, you know, more now very similar. I enjoy the molding of young men. You know, I don't think there's a greater tool than football. Sorry, Mo. I don't think there's a greater tool to mold young men than the game of football.
And you know I agree with that.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
You know, it's just to me, it's the last true team sport.
Spit it out, Mo. You want to say something?
I've been around a room full of wrong people before.
You know, so unfortunately, you know, taking job is so, you know, just I know we keep harping on it, just the need to win. It stops you from doing all the intangible things, you know, the things that make me have the relationship that I have with my high school coach. You know, if I was growing up today, it would probably be very hard for my coach and I to build a relationship that I have, just because the stress that's put on it. But I do work out with young, I do train young men. I try to be mentor as many young kids as I can. And I meet them different ways. It's church, meet some through word of mouth, things like that. And I will get into training and doing some individual field work with things like that.
I'd like to know, with you guys, how was y'all transition from pro ball
Great question.
back into
Great question. Just,
everyday life?
hey,
Was it
tell
a smooth
you
transition?
can say it. Hey, man, this is a conversational show.
Yeah.
How did y'all go from being superstar to just regular Joes?
Let me go first, because his story is a lot. His story is a lot harder than mine. Right. See, this don't sound strange when I say I was blessed because I was injured. You know, so I had 3 shoulder surgeries in 2 years.
Dang.
So there's a lot of guys leave the game, they get put out the game.
Right.
Kicked out. Well, technically I did get put out like most people do. But lots of people get put out still believing their mind is strong, right? They still think they can play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when I left, right? I knew I physically cannot play this game anymore. So mentally, I had a jump start on a lot of other guys. So I was able to transition, okay, what's next? Turn a chapter in my life, keep rolling. So, you know, something that I thought was a curse, it ended up being a big blessing that I used to catapult me into, you know, the next part of my life.
All right.
So,
Well, yeah, he mentioned the 3 surgeries. I actually met this guy at rehab. I was injured one year, and we just happened to be injured at the same time. And truthfully, I mean, I'm sure he knows it to some degree. He helped me with the transition. Unlike him, this past season in Europe, I was hurt the whole time. I mean, kind of like him, I was hurt the whole time. But it wasn't so much the injuries that kind of forced me out. I just had a desire to be home with my family. I have a 2-year-old son. My wife, to be honest, she's quite old. She's over Europe. She did not want to go back to Europe. She wanted our son to grow up here and to be around our family and our friends, which I understood completely. So when at the end of the season, I knew for sure that this is it.
That's
and I
it.
actually had, you know, my agent called and said, "You want to come back? Are you sure you want to quit? What about January?" I said, "Look, I'm going to be at home. And I'm okay with that. I'm actually excited to be at home. I enjoy every day waking up, getting a chance to take my son to school and, you know, do breakfast and all of that stuff at home. My wife and I will go to lunch in the middle of the day, which is something I wouldn't be able to do if I were still in Europe. So thank you, because he definitely helped a lot. Just from talking to him and the fact that he quit, you know, a year or so before I did, it helped me, you know, a ton.
What advice would you give to, I guess, high school kids, any kid with the aspiration of playing professional ball, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, what have you? What advice?
that's a great question. I get asked that question all the time. And there's lots of things I can say, but as simply as I can put it, I would tell them to focus on now. Okay? Most people, they don't enjoy, you know, let me not generalize. Myself, right? I didn't enjoy high school because I couldn't wait to get to college. You know, and I couldn't wait to, I got to college and I didn't enjoy that because I was trying to hurry up and get to, I wanted to get to NFL, you know. And you miss lots of things. You miss friends, you miss relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And on a lower level, high school level, you know, I see so many kids that have the talent, but they didn't do their grades.
Right.
You know, they didn't take care of the now, you know. And I tell them all the time, the worst feeling that an athlete can have in high school is for a college coach to come recruit you. The first thing he'll ask for is your transcripts. He looks at them and he walks out the door.
Mm.
You know, so take care of now. Be the best physically conditioned, the best student, the best person character-wise that you can be. And if you're good enough to play in the league, you will. And if you're not, you won't. But the character that you've built, you will be successful in something. So take care of it now.
That makes
Mo?
sense. I don't know if I have an answer to follow. Everything he said, plus, for me, I think athletes need to focus on being willing to work. A lot of athletes, you know, particularly basketball players, they kind of like the things that playing basketball brings you. You have to have a real love for the game and a willingness to work at the game in order to be successful. Tons of kids now, they're more focused on their brand. They're more focused on Instagram and posting every time they dunk. But those same kids can't make college level moves, or they don't have college level intensity. I'm speaking of course, with regards to high school kids that are playing. And, you know, they're not willing to work on their games. You have to be willing to sacrifice and work hard on your game. And truly, in order to do that at the level you have to love the game, not just what the game can bring you.
It's AA ball is messing the game up for basketball in general.
Who's messing it up?
AA.
Oh, AAU. But
AAU.
well, it's kind of a necessary evil. You love for the kids to get the exposure that AAU basketball and summer basketball allows, you know, provides for them. But at the same time, it's a selfish mentality that it also kind of instills in the kids, because those kids are concerned about impressing coaches. They may not always necessarily focus on the things that real college coaches will do, that they'll have to be able to do. You know, for example, teamwork is something that is big in college. You're not going to go out there in college and take 50 dribbles and then take a fadeaway jumper. But in AAU, if you play for a local guy, or your dad's the coach or your uncle's the coach, you know, he kind of promotes that and kind of, you know, encourages you to do that, you know, trying to prove that you can show coaches that you can play. Like, it's a great tool, but it's also, I think it could be, you know, a very, very bad thing for a lot of kids if they don't have the right people around them.
Now, what I was about to ask minutes ago, I was distracted. Was I know you said that y'all met, you know, because of y'all injuries.
Yeah.
But what brought y'all to Birmingham by both of y'all being from somewhere totally different? You from Louisiana and you from Opelika.
Lafayette, man, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not from Opelika.
From Lafayette, Alabama,
This
man.
interview's over.
I know, right?
Lafayette, Alabama,
Yeah.
hometown boy.
To be honest, I know what brought him here. He's married. His wife brought him here, so he didn't have a choice. Nick's married, or you're not married. Yeah, see, you don't know the rules yet. The rule is,
Go where she want to go.
yeah, that's it. Happy wife, happy life. But I went to school here, and I think for me, Birmingham is where I grew as a man, or at least the kind of the beginning stages of manhood for me. So, of course, I loved it here. My wife's from here, like I said before. It was just it was an easy choice.
Man, y'all gotta forgive my co-host, man. He got that off his Wikipedia page. I'm assuming because it's wrong. Update your stuff, Mo Finley.
Oh, hey man, I'm not in control of my Wikipedia.
You should be.
I know where I'm born. I know where I'm from.
That's exactly
There's
what
nothing
it
on
says.
Wikipedia that I don't already know.
It does say that.
Call it update.
That's it, man. I got a question. I got a basketball question for you, Mo.
All right.
Are you aware of the stuff, the backlash that Mark Jackson is getting
About what?
about the comments he made about Steph?
With regards to
With regards
he's making basketball bad.
right for the kids. It's not about Mark Jackson though.
Do I think he's making basketball bad?
No. Do you think the backlash is warranted?
I think anytime he says anything about Golden State is going to be
Media.
backlash simply because he was their former coach. As soon as he leaves, they win. So
Right.
like he's in a lose-lose.
Right.
Anything he says is going to be taken out of context. So the best thing for him to do, to me, this is just my opinion, is to probably just only say, the obvious about Golden State. They're winning, they're playing well, they're having fun. That's it. Like anything else is going to be blown way out of proportion. So
Mark got to kind of feel some way about how the whole situation went down, though, because, I mean, that was wrong, honestly.
I mean, you can say it was wrong to get rid of him, but they're winning. Like, so it's hard to kind of say he should have been. Like, he did a good job, but sometimes you just need a little tweak. Teams just need, maybe a different philosophy in one area.
But they won 51 games while he was there.
I know, but they won the NBA championship when he left.
But look what they're doing now with Luke.
So you don't think it's coaching, you think it's more so them.
Exactly.
But that could still be a byproduct of the philosophy that's been instilled by Steve Kerr. Like Luke Walton is essentially an extension of Steve Kerr.
Correct.
So
And Kerr will be back Friday.
yeah,
But today.
And pro guys, they don't always like the coach. They don't. There's certain things you can get. Like Mark, for example, you can go tell a high school kid, run through this wall. We're doing it 10 times. The NBA guy, he's making $40 million for 2 years. You make 2 for this year. Whoever makes the most money is going to make the decision. So if the players don't like you, they're not going to play for you. And they don't have to because the owners are going to back their investment.
I'm going to piggyback off that question. Do you think it was the players that didn't like him, or do you think he was, quote-unquote, too religious? Because, he has his religious
That's what the media put out
community
there.
going on down in L.A., and he would travel back and forth.
They were that I can't speak to. But I think what makes you who you are, your walk with God, your religion, that makes you who you are. So I don't think it's wise for people to try to turn that off in order. Like I wouldn't be willing to turn off my Christianity
Right.
just to suit
Yeah.
this because
Right.
my Christianity, my faith makes me who I am,
Right.
and everything that I do is rooted and based in that.
Correct.
So if that was an issue, they shouldn't have hired him because that's who he is. That makes him who he is.
Right.
Does that answer the question? I'm sorry. Mark
It did.
Jackson, don't talk about Golden State. Does he listen? I add him on Instagram, make him listen to it.
And Reggie, being that you are coming off of coaching, and UAB is kind of, the story behind UAB.
Yes.
You should. You live in Birmingham.
What advice, being that you're a former pro, Super Bowl winning with them Giants, they beat the Patriots.
Was that the coldest game ever, too?
Man,
NFC Championship game?
that's another question.
Green
we
Bay.
had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cold as ever, man.
You want sleep?
Yeah, I was. I tried to go out there without them for warm up.
I think it's stupid not to wear sleeves. That's the craziest thing to do when I see football players without sleeves on in the cold. That's stupid.
I remember Strahan said, he used to laugh at Strahan. He was like, when you don't wear sleeves, it don't make you look tough. It just makes you look stupid.
But any advice for UAB this year and them transitioning back into football and rifling and bowling? Well, football specifically because you played football.
Correct. Well, no matter what you're doing, people try to take athletics away from all other walks of life, right? And it's the same. It's no different. Whether you're opening up a restaurant or you're starting a football team, right? You first have to have some kind of plan, right? Plan and some passion to fuel that plan.
Right.
And what they went through to get that team back, it's obviously passion behind it,
Right.
So the next thing you need leadership, right? Obviously they have good leadership because he was out in the front.
Clark.
He's leading the way. Let me tell you, man, I don't care what what venue you're talking about. When you have passion and great leadership, the sky's the limit for you. People are going to start to want to be here. And it'll take a year or two to get it off the ground. But if you just stick with it and that leadership will stay around and that passion stays burning, the sky's the limit. They will be what the other school thought they were going to be, if that makes sense. They will grow and they can become a giant if they want to.
Have you ever had a concussion before?
I had plenty of concussions, I think.
Does it affect you anyway now? The whole movie.
Yeah. So, when I was playing, even at Auburn, a lot of times, you get, we call them dings, we didn't call them concussions. I got a stinger. The terminology was different. And you would sit down, you kind of gather yourself, and you go back out there. So for me to tell you how many times that happened, I just wouldn't know. It wasn't something that I paid attention to. And I know that sounds strange, given what's all going on today, but it is a huge issue. I'm very concerned about it. I'm almost 35, and
Man, you're a young buck, man.
yeah, but not for banging my head.
See, I kind of thought that they were just overblowing it, because it's been a proven fact statistically that soccer, they have more concussions in soccer than they do in football, but nobody talked about soccer.
Well, is it more documented, right? You have documentation that you're talking about, and also are you talking about per capita, right? Because you got to think when you're talking about soccer, you're talking about a world thing.
Yeah.
Right. So, people talking about Super Bowl, champion of the world. We're the only country that play football. So we're really not the champions of the world. You know what I mean? So we're less than 4, about 4% of the world. 96% of the rest of the world plays soccer. So of course they will have more. How is that? What is I would say per group of kids that are playing concussions, I would bet that football was more from that aspect. Data, you can fix data however you want to make it show whatever you want. You know what I mean? But what I know is these kids, they're bigger and faster and stronger than I ever was. And I'm not sure what to do with that because on one hand, I have that information. I know that to be true. On the other hand, it's a game that I love and it has provided great opportunities for me and my family, and my grandkids will benefit from me playing a game of football. So you kind of have those two things clashing, and I think that's what's going on in our society right now. Not to mention you're making billions of dollars doing it. So.
All right, man, we'll be back. We got to pay some bills. DJ Bob.
DJ Rickey D.
You listen to the sports show about nothing? Man, I wanted to get into the divisional game matchups, man. Mo, unfortunately, the Cowboys didn't make it.
I won't be watching. I will not be watching Sunday.
Unfortunately, your Cowboys didn't make it. And Reggie, unfortunately, your Giants didn't either, bro.
Man, we rough.
So, give me a breakdown. Everybody in here is football fans, so Mo, I want you to go first. Who do you like in these matchups, man?
We're going to start with the AFC.
with the AFC.
with Peyton and Brady. 17.
This is the 17th time?
It's the 17th time, probably last.
I hope so. Like, I mean, this is not the question, but aren't you tired of seeing Manning throw ducks and like, I'm kind of tired of that. Like, give someone else a chance. You've made tons of money. You've won. You're the greatest. Blah blah blah. Go home. Time to go home.
But is he the greatest though? We had this discussion last time.
Regular season quarterback.
Greatest
Yeah.
regular season quarterback ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can agree with that. For me, I think the Patriots are the Patriots, and like I just don't see them beating.
It's a machine over there.
Yeah, like I don't see Peyton Manning beating Tom Brady. I think Brady's best is better than Manning's best.
But-
Brady's better is better than.
But what y'all
Manning.
fail to realize, which I'm quite sure Reggie gonna say, is Broncos defense
Crazy.
is going against Brady. That is the question. That is gonna be the problem for Brady.
Hey man, you still talking about Tom
It's still Brady. Like
Man.
it's still Brady though. Like I agree the defense is, tough, no doubt. But those guys are always really, really well prepared. So Belichick, Brady, I'm picking them.
Yeah.
I can't
I
see
got
it with
you.
no running game.
Yeah.
They one dimensional.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, first of all, I gotta take up for my man, right? I love Peyton Manning, man. I just have a great deal of respect for him, man. His preparation, the things that he knows. I know what it takes for him to have that much knowledge. I mean, I've never been around anyone more committed. I remember one year I was in Miami and we played them. Matter of fact, it was Monday Night Football, I think. And we held the ball for 45 minutes. They only had the ball for they had about 14 minutes and some seconds and they won. Right. He sat on the bench the entire third quarter. He literally did not play. Our offense had the ball the entire time. All right, we run a blitz one time. Why we run a zero blitz against him, I have no idea, but I just do what I'm told. Right? As soon as we break the huddle, we haven't even lined up yet, and he starts smiling. Right? He's checking out anyway, throws a jet screen, Pierre Garçon, 60 yards, win the game. Right? He just that kind of preparation. I hate, it's kind of like watching your superhero go down, you know what I mean? I like the whining, I don't like everything that comes with it.
So you agree with Antonio Smith?
Yeah, he's one, no doubt about it.
Y'all
Every
came
time.
out the same year also.
Yeah, the stat man.
That's that.
It's true, but even with that being said, to bet against them would just be silly. They just find a way. They find a way. They're prepared. And it's can't beat that.
I respect how they able to plug and play players as they come. I mean, when they lost Wes Welker, I just knew like Danny Amendola is not it. But man, Julian Edelman just came in and he better than Wes Welker seemed like. At least he's more shiftier. It's crazy.
You know what a testament that is? When's the last time, I was talking to someone about this, when is the last time the Patriots had a good player that left and played well somewhere else?
It's
I can't think of a time.
only player I can think of, and I'm a Raider fan, is he let
You sound like you're reaching because you didn't say his name. I think you're stretching.
Offensive player.
You don't say
offensive
Randy.
player.
Randy
Don't say
Randy was
offense
with
in that
Minnesota.
system. Yeah.
Don't say Randy.
Offensive player. Offensive player, I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
I totally
I'm
agree
talking
with
offense in that system. Cause I'm speaking of the offensive, the Patriots Belichick offensive system. All right. Usually.
Ocho, man.
you. No,
Ocho.
he didn't get a chance in Miami though.
Hey,
He didn't get a chance once he left.
No.
I had to agree with you.
Yeah.
Once they
I
left,
know. Yeah.
I mean,
That system makes guys famous, man. It makes them lots of money.
Yeah.
And that's why they can get guys to go there for less and put up with the system and all the things that people would associate with college, right? Because they have a proven system that wins championships
and they in it every year.
every year.
5 straight AFC championship games. That's amazing.
As long as they have Belichick and Brady in that building, the rest of the guys.
When one go, does the other go?
That's
Or
the
do you
question.
think he can plug and play at quarterback like he does everywhere else?
I think
Nah,
they tied
quarterback's
together.
different, man. They throw the ball every single play. That's hard.
Yeah.
There's only one guy in the league that can do that. That's tough.
So they tied to the hip.
I
You
think
think
they are.
when Brady retired,
Yeah.
Belichick gonna?
Well, you have relationship things, so they know each other. I hate to use the analogy, but I mean, I mean, they really know each other, right? They don't have to guess with each other. Thinking, you know, when one of those leaves, no matter who it is, whether Brady leaves or Belichick leaves, you have to get used to another guy, the way they do things. And they may adapt a little bit, but they're going to have their own way, you know? And if they're winning, that's fine. But the second if they ever don't win, the top blows off of them because you're not doing like this and you're not doing, you know. I don't know if Belichick wants to sit around and with a subpar quarterback and get his butt kicked every week. I mean, I don't see a reason for either one of them to. So, just my opinion, though.
Hey, Mo, does Cam have enough to get past Arizona?
I don't know. I want Arizona to win because I'm a Larry Fitzgerald fan. But what? I mean, I'm sorry for having
I'm sorry.
an opinion.
I'm
Year
sorry.
two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We came out together.
Stat man, you didn't know that?
Yeah. So we talking about linebacker.
But yeah, I think Cam has had a great season. What they've been doing all year long has been, you know, the talk of the NFL. For sure, I think he's the MVP. I don't know if he'll win, but
Super
I think
Bowl, or you mean
the MVP. I mean, shit, will he win? You know
Who
more.
else gonna win it?
the writers have
Carson
voted.
Palmer.
No.
That's his competition. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Him and Brady, this is three of
Yeah.
them.
So if he doesn't win Sunday, maybe he doesn't get the MVP, doesn't go to the Super Bowl. But like, I just like Larry Fitzgerald. And I don't know him at all. I just like the character he plays on TV. Polite, respectful. You never hear anything crazy about him, and that's not to say he doesn't do anything crazy. I don't know it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it. But with the Carolinas defense and the you know, Cam playing out of his mind all year, it'll definitely be, you know, worth watching. I may peek at it. I mean, Dallas isn't playing, but I may scroll through.
Quietly, Fitzgerald put up some of his best numbers ever.
Yeah.
Give him to us.
And you know, I root for the 30-year-old athlete. I root for the guy who everyone says is, you know, yeah, I root for that guy, you know. Because athletes, you know, professional sports is a young man's game. So it's nice to see someone who's older and an established guy go out and have some success.
Done it well, the right way for a long time. That doesn't happen. I mean, you can't say that about a lot of guys. He's done it the right way, well, for a long period of time. Not many guys fall in that category. So, you watching guys like Fitzgerald and, you know, all these guys, and, you know, even Brady, you know, it's just, I guess, you know, locker room talk or, you know, water cooler talk, you know, but, you know, 2 generations behind us, like, they'll be the great ones. And you'll say, man, I watched them, or I went to a game, or I played against them. You know, these guys are doing it.
Hey, Mo, will we say that about Romo?
Maybe at his family reunion.
Hey, RG3.
Go ahead and say something about Roma.
RG3, man.
What about it?
What Dallas picking? What Dallas getting?
I don't. Will it?
Sell tickets?
If it'll sell tickets or, I guess, enhance the foolishness that's already taking place, then yeah. Like if they seem to be more concerned with, you know, being in the entertainment business than actually putting together a quality football.
Well, with that being said, shouldn't they have taken Manziel then?
I mean, I think
He's from Texas.
Well,
I think Jerry Jones. I think Jerry Jones
that's
wanted to
right.
take Manziel. I think.
But RG3 really don't represent Texas. You know what I'm saying? RG3.
I don't think of Texas
Everything-
when I see him.
Right. When you see Manziel, you see Texas.
Why is that? Because he played for Texas A&M?
I guess
Because he's Texas. I can't say what I want to say on air, but wait till we go off.
Well,
I'll tell you.
I think is because RG3 he's an Army kid, right?
Right.
That's kind of what I know. He played at Baylor. I know he played in Texas,
Army
but
brat.
yeah, I don't consider him. He's moved all around. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like I don't think of Texas when I think of him.
Like Johnny, because the oil money.
That and some more stuff.
I
Red,
hope
we
not.
never did get your input on the NFC matchup, man.
Yeah,
UAB, J.J. Nelson, fastest 40 time last year.
That's what y'all should be rooting for.
yeah.
Man, I'm going
Fastest
Super
40 time
Cam.
last year.
Yeah, I tell you what,
Super
man.
Cam.
You gotta stick with the law, man.
I gotta go with the Auburn guy, man. I like Cam. I like what they're doing. But you know what they do? They do 2 things that I'm an old school football guy.
Pound the ball.
They run
Run
the
the
heck
ball
out
and
the
play
football.
defense.
I love it.
And they play great defense.
So many different formations they run the ball out of
They
also.
do it, man. They'll run 30 formations, but they're going to run powers and counters. You know, that's what they're going to do. They're going to push you around, and that kind of, you know, that kind of offense and defense, it travels. You know, all situations, all weather. You know, something's not going right, you can turn around, I can hand the ball off, and I can get 4 or 5 yards. You know, that kind of football is tough to stop. Now, can it be stopped? I mean, yeah, they obviously they can lose, they lost, you know, but I think when they're at their best, what they doing right now?
Hey, man.
Okay.
All of our teams are sitting at home watching.
Yeah, but we're not throwing them out there. You talk about the Giants. Right. But my thing is simply this: when the Panthers are at their best, I think their best beats anyone else's best, AFC or NFC. That's
So that's your Super Bowl pick.
that's what I go with.
It's just hard to believe in Palmer, man. I mean, you see how he came out last week, just all nervous.
They were bad last week.
He looked awful.
They
man.
were lucky to get out of there.
Seriously,
Yeah.
seriously.
They were lucky.
And I
to
was
get out
rooting
of
for
there.
Peppers, man. Peppers one of my favorite players.
Mm.
And he's thinking about hanging it up now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I love Julius Peppers, man.
All these guys, man, like they sneaky old, man.
Yeah, for real.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, another one, Roman Harper, still hanging in there.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to. This has to be 13 for him, 14.
Somewhere in there.
It goes by quick, man. You know. So that's my squad I'm going with. I roll with the Panthers.
How many more years of eligibility you got, man? Get out there and throw the ball for UAB, man.
You ever told me about your last high school, the last time you played quarterback?
I'm not here to talk about the past. that is definitely a story off the air.
The people want to know, man.
No, it didn't go so.